Okay, g'day, Trader Sam here from Trade to Prosper to give you another crypto update on Bitcoin, and let's begin. Right, so what we have is a log chart here, and what I'm going to do is just add some Fibonacci, as we already got the main moving averages already surpassed. So when we add the main Fibonacci to this chart from the swing from this position to the bottom to this bottom, not complete, you can see how it has confluence in certain areas, just like that. But when we add the other one from the bottom to the top, to that level as well, you can see that the zero point 0.5 range is going to be a bit of resistance, and it coincides with this level. So I do expect a bit of a sideways motion and a bit of resistance. How much? Not to say, but I do believe that it's still going to go up. Now, if we look at this chart from the macro perspective, and apologies, I did this yesterday, but the video failed for some reason, and I'll add the link below, and you can see what I talked about if you've got time. Basically, what we were talking about is we've got this macro structure, and the neckline was there, and that looks like an inverted head and shoulders. And if this was to play out with that neckline to the bottom, we have this position of target, pretty much close to 40k. And anyway, we'll see how that goes. So that's the macro outlook for the time being. But I do want to say that this is resistance at the moment. If we change the log settings, then you can see that it's slightly higher. So what we have here is price, and I'll add the other one as well. So 28k is probably 27,900 to 28k is probably where we're going to find major resistance based on this, because this has much more confluence. Then we add this other macro from the top to the bottom, and you can see the 0.236. And if we're to put on the log scale, it also equates to the 0.382. So this range is going to be a bit of resistance. Not much, but it is going to be resistance. So let's have a look at that, and we can say, yep, we've got that. Okay, so looking at the small time frame, we'll get to that. Now, this chart here is breaking it down much more granular. This is one of my charts that I'll look at for confluence. It's pretty much all fib, I call it. So I'm going to lay out the Fibonacci. We have the macro Fibonacci like that, and you can see how that lines with the top on 61.618, and we just add the layers to it, and then we start seeing confluence in this with support and resistance. And let's just add more and continue. And as we just add the layers to this, we're going to see a story come up. It's just about confluence, and that's all. So you can see exactly how Fibonacci plays its role. It doesn't give us insight, but what it does is it gives us confidence on where we might have major resistance and support. So you can see this playing out at the moment. Ever so slightly, if I was to adjust that slightly, it probably work. So where's that one there? 236. But anyway, there's no point. Still bullish. Still, this is a strong move, and it's like the most likely scenarios because of the banking system, flight taking their cash, taking it out, and putting to crypto, feeling more comfortable, as well as the market other being supplied with cash, fake money, and it's going to pump. So the markets are confident in crypto, and we'll probably see in the stock market as well. So that's what I have in the short term, or the macro, sorry, not the short term. Now let's have a closer look on the small time frame. I'll go to this chart. Go to the 1 hour. Right, so what we have is this trend line, ever so slightly. We make it really confident that it's aligned for all these wicks. This one's slightly missed, but we can see that that's also having a resistance there. So what do I expect? I did call this out before with the other video, and I did say that was going to be a good position to buy for cradle trade. We did that, and let's just reverse that, and you can see how sort of it lines up with that previous support, and you can see how it comes to that level. It will take a bit. Right, so that was our golden pocket, and we've got the move. Now we're hitting resistance, so we're going to go sideways. If you know Wyckoff, you'll know that it does a move, finds its support, then does the buying climax. So this is slightly a buying climax, and it's likely to come back down, and we're going to have a range somewhere, a continuation pattern. So I think that's what's going to happen. Whatever it is, if it continues on like that, great. You'll know when to come back in. But I do feel like this is a slightly resistance. Slightly, it might weak. If it goes up, then use that as support and continue on. But let's add our moving averages to this, and let's see how we're going. The 10 and 20 moving average is doing a good job on the 1 hour. So let's just clean that up. And look for, let's just get rid of this for a sec. And lines to the MACD. The stochastic, okay. Come on, so we can see that it's slightly bearish divergence taking place on the 1 hour. So our trend was 1 hour. We got the bounce from there. However, it's curving back. So we're starting to build divergence into this structure. It's not to say it's not going to go up. It's just that from a short-term trade, we're looking for short-term trades. That's all we're interested in. We've got the macro pretty much going up. 32 from 30 to 32k is going to be a bit of resistance, and then after that it will be clear. So 28 to 32k is where we're going to see a bit of resistance, because if we look at the chart, if it comes up, go to another chart, probably better, it's this area here. So let's do this before I go back to the small time frame. Let's put the volume profile, point of control. We need to put that in there. So that is our POC. Didn't come out nice color, did it? So that's going to be a major resistance. Not sure why the text is not there. Okay, so we got that, and the bottom of this as well. So that range we can assume, because as the price came down, that was our initial resistance here. That was our initial resistance, and that's where we found our main resistance here. Right, aligns with that. Now, then we found support here for short term, and so that could be short term resistance as well, and we're pretty much on it. So this layer that played a bit of a role is going to slow us down a bit, and the point of control is probably the one that I'll be looking at the most from the macro. So even if this goes sideways or slightly back, it's still going to go up, but this area is going to be an area of confluence. If we've got some Fibonacci there, let's see which one it is. Let's put the levels in there. Oh, the 618. Okay, the 618 is, and that one comes from, you'll see, from the top down. So swing extension. So the 618 is definitely going to play its role there. So that's what I see. And we've got the volume of control or point of control. So this area is likely to be resistance, and we go sideways for a while. It's probably range in that pocket there. So I do see this breaking up slightly, just a small range breaking up, and then we have our buying climax, and then we range here with a Wyckoff continuation pattern of some sort, and then up it goes again. It's not going to be as bad as this. The momentum's there. However, we will go sideways, and we need to learn how to trade that with swing failures. And we'll try to pick them up in our channel. So that's what I expect. And so when we go to the small time frame, which I went past, I'll need to go to the 2 hour. Let's see what the 2 hour is doing. So the 2 hour is very good. We've still got this uptrend, and the 2 hour is likely. Let's play this out. So we're just looking for entries, small trades with leverage, and let's just change that. It's not the one. I'm still mixing it up, aren't I? Up, where's up, up, up? Okay. And what do we do that? Well, that our assumption is that this is a local top. We've got a few rejection candles there, or wicks. It could still continue on, but if we're going to look for an entry, so if this pulls back to the 0.5, that is a good entry because we've got the 10 and 20 moving average coming across. Previous resistance, this is a nice entry to go for another next level up if it pulls back. Otherwise, there is no trade there at this time. The MACD is upward trending. It's confluent with price. So we might just come back down a bit and then continue on. So the 2 hour is looking better than the 1 hour. So what I mean by the 2 hour is we'll look for a cradle trade. Then we'll look for a support or bullish candle in this area. And then we'll continue on, find that trade and make a small trade and take profits wherever you want. Now, if we look at the 1 hour, the 1 hour is still all right. It's still applicable, but what we can see is that it's starting to lose momentum. So the 1 hour can play its role, and that the 10 moving average is there, so slightly higher there. So if the 1 hour plays out, it could be there, and then up again. But I like the 2 hour chart more likely because this is starting to look bearish, and where the 2 hour has a nice flow to as an uptrend, similar to this. See how we got this uptrend, and that is a nice uptrend. What went up in there? So we've got a nice uptrend, crossed over. We get a delay obviously, but a pullback. Then the crossover here gives you another bullish entry. So we've got this momentum. You can see that eventually we're going to be on the macro, on the small time frame, bearish divergence playing out. So if this crosses over, that's not good. Yeah. Let's just clean that up. If this MACD crosses over, then we are likely to make a deeper pullback than what I pretty much forecasted. So we'll need to wait and see for the 2 hour chart or the 1 hour for an entry to go along. Otherwise, just chill, look for other coins, look for other alts. And by the way, I'll be doing a video on Arbitrum, how to approach it and how to trade it and how to accumulate it. So it's a big one. That's a lot of people have been waiting for. It's the biggest one, I believe, in the past year and a bit as an airdrop. And this one could make you retire. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll talk to you soon. Please give me a like and share. Have a good day. Cheers.